Hello, my name is Bishwash and I'm going to talk on process log of technical writing. These are the 5 steps of technical writing which are plan, structure, write, review and publish. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. All projects need to be planned, at least at some level. Whilst you don't have to go and create a detailed Gantt chart for every technical writing project, it certainly helps if you answer some of the following questions before you put pen to paper. The results of this planning may be as simple as some bullet points jotted down in a notepad, or you may find that simply going through this in a mental exercise is sufficient. When you're planning to write technical documents, you should ask yourself about the scope of the project, or the areas you're going to cover in your project, the time you're going to require to complete the project, and the processes involved in your project. Along with these questions, you must also ask some specific technical questions to yourself. The audience must be kept in mind. Who am I writing for? Do they have sophisticated command of language? What are the educational levels? These points must be kept in your mind. Reviewers and subject matter experts are the people who will lend you with their technical expertise on the subject matters. They'll also review your project for accuracy. Existing information must be kept in mind and they must be cited in your project. Style guides such as APA, IEEE, etc. must be used while writing a project, and templates also must be used while writing a project to make it look more attractive. Structure is the backbone of your document, the hierarchy of headings that define the logical order that it will progress. Structure is absolutely essential to successful documents, and it's something that you should develop before you start writing. A well-structured document is one that has had thought go into it beforehand, which means you're less likely to spend time to rehash on it later. There are some number of common structural approaches which we are going to discuss. The first one is narrative structure, which is the traditional, including intro, body and conclusion. A process-based structure is usually used on technical writing and scientific documentations. The examples of these are procedures and user guides. Library structure is a collection of articles on a common topic, and they are very loosely structured. System-based structures describes the components of a system, such as an auto manual. There are few time-honored as well as some new techniques that technical writers draw on. You must keep it simple, which is the part of a process KISS, keep it simple, stupid. You must keep your project very simple and readable. You must use plain English and not show off your vocabulary skills. 5 W's, which are who, what, when, where and why, any information which is essential to the understanding and should be placed at the beginning, and 1 H, which is how. These questions must be given priority to, and the answers of these questions must be kept on top. The second one is the important details and supporting informations, and which are the elements that may include quotes, statistics and context. You must make your project diagrammatic if it's a scientific project, and you must use a lot of statistical data and graphs which will support your content. Verb-noun structure must be kept in mind, and less important details should not be focused on. You must always use active voice while writing a project. Writing is when you convert your bare bones of table of contents and notes into a series of drafts, culminating in drafts that's ready for formal review. Contrary to popular impression, writing is only about 20 to 30% of the process in a well-planned document. Much of the effort goes into planning, structuring and reviewing your work. In fact, the more time you spend planning and structuring your work, the less time you're likely to spend on writing. Review. While reviewing your project, you must keep certain things in mind. The project must be reviewed by some subject matter expert. This can either be an expert of the title of your project or a language expert. You must test certain procedures to review your project, and you must follow some specific steps. Peer-to-peer evaluation also helps. You can ask your peer to evaluate or proofread your project. Editing and proofreading also must be done while reviewing your project. There are certain levels of reviewing. Levels of editing diagram, defining different levels of review such as proofreading, copy editing, structural editing, and so on. Editing checklist. A checklist that guides you through different levels of editing. Editing a sheet, a document that professional editors use when editing a large and complex document. Review log is used to track the feedback received